Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer Brown and I have really been wanting to get this channel off the ground for a long time, and it looks like I'm finally getting around to it. We are going to be talking about pageants and weight loss and self-improvement. I am on a journey to Mrs. Virginia. I am 50 years old and this is my first pageant. I don't even remember where the heck I got the idea to do this. Somewhere along the line it popped into my head and now I'm committed. I'm signed up for the pageant and I'm very excited. I have a little under a year to prepare, and the pageant itself is April 30th in South Hill, Virginia. And I've got a lot to do between then and now. So why am I doing this? Like why at 50 years old did I suddenly decide to do a pageant? It's really, for me, it's about self-improvement. There are two areas in my life that I just really needed to work on anyway, that work really well for preparing for a pageant. And those things are getting healthier and being more involved in my community. So those are two things that I really just kind of wanted to work on anyway. And the idea of the pageant next year is almost like a reward for putting in the hard work, you know, kind of a carrot out there dangling in front of me. If you put in the hard work, you get to do this fun thing. So I am looking forward to that. Health self-improvement. I really, really need it, y'all. About, gosh, 2.5, 3 years ago, I was up to about 220 pounds. I think at my heaviest, I weighed 219 when I looked on the scale. And I did Weight Watchers and I lost a bunch of weight, but a bunch of it came back. That just really didn't work for me. Like I said, I took a bunch of weight off. I got down to about 139, I think. But the minute I stopped restricting, like the Weight Watchers required me to do, like overnight, like 40 pounds came back on. And now at this point, I'm about 180 something, in the early 180s. So something needs to be done. I am really concerned about my health. There was diabetes in my family. I was at the point where it wasn't really comfortable moving around. So I've made some changes. I got a personal trainer. I actually got, I think he's the #1 personal trainer on Pageant Planet to work with me. I've never been strong my whole life. Even when I was teeny tiny and skinny, I wasn't strong. Do some of y'all remember the President's Fitness test that we had to do in elementary school in gym class? I dreaded that thing. We had to climb the rope to the ceiling and I couldn't even climb it an inch because my arms weren't strong enough and everyone would make fun of me. So even when I was super skinny, I was never strong. So I'm looking really forward to being the strongest I've ever been in my life. So like I said, I'm working with the trainer. I'm doing a lot of strength training with him a couple times a week. And I've been running, I say run. It's a 16.5-minute mile. So it's more kind of like a shuffle. I think I run more slowly than a lot of people walk. But I have started doing it and I do it for 25 minutes. And I'm gonna go back to yoga. I did Bikram yoga for a while and I think I'm gonna go back to that. Bikram yoga was gonna be way too challenging when I weighed like 220. That was just gonna, don't get me wrong, there are lots of folks who are a lot larger than I am who have wonderful success with Bikram yoga, but at that weight my body just wouldn't do it. I just literally couldn't get into the positions because of where my weight was. So now that I've lost some and I'm down to about 180, I think I'm gonna go back to Bikram and commit to it and just try to do it no matter how hard it is. So between my running, jogging, shuffling, my working out with my trainer, and Bikram yoga, I'm really hoping to get healthier and get stronger and of course lose some weight. So I really want to lose quite a bit of weight before I get into that bathing suit and walk across the stage. So the other thing I mentioned was community involvement. I'm involved at my church. I'm the head usher at my church. I often participate in our homeless shelter ministry, and I've done some other things as well. But I really wanted to get more involved in my community and do some kind of mental health advocacy. I've struggled with mental health issues my whole life, and maybe that's for a later episode. That's a whole episode in itself. But I wanted to commit to doing some advocacy in the mental health area. So I've been working with NAMI on the walk planning committee. So I've been doing that, and I've also been volunteering at an animal shelter. So I'm kind of trying to get myself positioned to be really doing some more good in my community than I had been. So those are my two goals. I want to be healthier and lose weight, and I want to be more involved in my community in a positive way. And so what does pageantry have to do with that? So as far as my health goes, I mean, it may sound silly, but I have to walk across that stage in a bathing suit. And, they do refer to that as the physical fitness part of the competition. So I need to get into shape to do that. So it's kind of like, here's this thing I need to prepare for, and that can help motivate me along the way. As far as being involved with my community, that's really important in the pageant world, at least in Mrs. America Presents, which is the pageant system that I will be involved in. My Mrs. Virginia pageant does require that we have what's called a platform, and the platform is an area that we want to advocate on behalf of. So I want to do some work in the mental health area. I want to advocate, probably what I'd really like to advocate on behalf of is research, getting new medications, because the medications we have are really, really rough. They work, but there are so many side effects. Just my own personal story, I think in the 15, 16, 17, 18 years now that I've been taking medication regularly, that meant about an extra 80 pounds. It also kind of dumbs me down. It's not so great for my creativity. It puts a lid on everything, which isn't always good. Sometimes you need a lid put on it, but generally speaking, you don't. So the drugs are kind of difficult to deal with. So I'd like to do some advocacy in that area. I really think that we can do better as far as drugs for mental illness are concerned. But I'm also working with NAMI on their walk committee and raising money for NAMI. NAMI does a wonderful job of providing resources to both individuals who suffer from mental illness and families who have loved ones who suffer from mental illness as well. So I want to do some work in that area as well, getting resources out to people who need it. So, the pageant platform requires me to do that. And so I think that that'll be something that will kind of shape my efforts, if you will, and make me efficient and make me a better advocate. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing Mrs. Virginia next April. I do need the whole year to prepare, and I'm gonna take y'all along the ride with me. I think it's gonna be a beautiful journey of positivity, and I'm really excited about it. Do you wanna see my crown? Because it just came in the mail. So I have my local crown. I'll show it to you, and then I'll put it on. Okay, so this is my crown. Isn't it beautiful? And it goes on my head. Right? I'm a queen. So I'm still waiting on my sash, and when I get my sash, I will start making appearances, but we'll talk a whole bunch more about appearances later. Appearances, that kind of goes along with wanting to be more involved in my community, which is the Greater Falls Church area. I am your Mrs. Falls Church. All right, thanks everybody for listening, and I'll be back with a new episode soon.